Thank you, Jeff, and good morning, everybody. My name is Greg Cooper. I'm a research fellow at the University of Sheffield, and it's my great privilege today to introduce the second session of the Flash 1-minute poster presentations. One of the highlights of the week, I think we all had fun yesterday. We got to see a little bit of Jeff Sinatra, which I haven't seen before, and that song has stuck in my head all evening. So we have a wonderful lineup today. Just a reiteration of the rules. Each presenter has 1 minute. There'll be a timer on screen. That will tick down from 60 seconds to 0. When the clock strikes 0, we will applaud warmly, and the speaker will pass the microphone on to the next speaker, a little bit of a relay race. So I think we get the idea. Are we all ready to go? The first speaker is Mohammed Sarkar. Please come up, sir.
Good morning. I am presenting the impact of the adoption of climate-smart agriculture technology on food security and nutrition in coastal ecosystem, evidence from synergy terms variety. Our sample size was 440, 300 from climate-smart technology adopter and 150 from non-adopter. We found that climate-smart technology adoption improved the environmental condition, enhance the livelihood condition, increase the productivity of agriculture, increase the income of farmer, increase the consumption, and increase the malnutrition status, finally increase the productivity of labor. That is why policymakers should emphasize on the adoption of climate smart technology for climate smart. Oh, sorry, I have to. Thank you.
Next up, Theodore Nikiema.
Okay, thank you for the introduction. So the aim of our study is to provide an evidence of the impact of agroecological practices on food security. To do this, we have used this research design through farming's household characteristics and machine learning approaches, and we highlight the food security status of the farm's household. Then we have cross-referenced these statuses with the agricultural classes, and we found that agroecological farms with a good crop diversification and livestock integration are less impacted by food insecurity. So the integration of local seed and agroforestry are among of the practices that positively influence the food security of farming's household. So for more details, you can come to our box 26. Thank you.
So next up.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Remi Adebisi. In our study, we actually examined if climate-smart agricultural practices improve food security in Nigeria. We made use of the cross-sectional data. We sampled 220 farmers across Nigeria, and we made use of the Adaptation Strategy Index, the Food Security Index, and Logistic Regression Model to analyze our data. Then what did we find out? First, we found out that there's low adoption rates of climate-smart practices among farming households. Secondly, adopters of climate-smart agricultural practices were more food secure than their counterparts. Then lastly, we found out that adoption of climate-smart agricultural practices positively influence household food security in Nigeria. So to learn more about our study, kindly visit at poster 28. Thank you.
Well, you can take a breather. Next up, Richard Banda.
Good morning. My name is Richard Banda. Agricultural production is affected by the adverse effect of climate change. And this study looked at how sweet potato legume intercropping system enhance adaptation and resilience. Using mixed method approach, we used the yield trend as a proxy variable to adaptation and the resilience. So the results found that intercropping sweet potato legume in spatial arrangement increase yield, hence increase the adaptation. For more details about these spatial arrangements and how I conducted the analysis and the policy recommendation, visit me on the poster number 29. Thank you.
Next up, Tinsan Chong.
Hi, everyone. Did you know that 1 in 2 Malaysians are overweight or obese? And these numbers keep increasing as more of the areas in the country urbanize. But what happens before an area becomes fully urban? It goes through a peri-urban phase where it is not quite rural and not quite urban. It is a highly transitioning, fast-changing, and often overlooked spaces where food environments are rapidly shifting. This gives us an opportunity to look into the peri-urban phase and how communities engage with their food environments and where it may already be influencing their diet and health. I'm interested to explore Semenye, an area about 50 kilometers away from the capital city of Kuala Lumpur, and I would like to know how food access relates to their diet quality, overweight, and obesity status. Come find out more at my poster booth at number 30. That's right, it's 30. Thank you very much.
Okay, next up, Matthew Achigling-Kame.
The header community has received less research attention, despite its key role in cattle raising and milk supply. We sought to investigate the dietary diversity and food consumption patterns of header households in 5 communities in northern Ghana. We did so using pictogram-based questionnaires to take data of the foods consumed daily for 14 continuous days, and we found out that they had relatively good dietary diversity and food consumption scores, which varied across the communities. And we also noticed that maize, baobab leaves, and then roselle leaves were the most consumed, followed by milk. And then we noticed that meat, fish, and eggs were the least consumed. For more, please join me at poster 32.
We're flying. Next up, please, Sora Degafu.
Good morning, everybody. Food security remains a critical challenge in Ethiopia, particularly among smallholder farmers who face low productivity of agriculture. In response, cluster farming implemented recently an approach to address these challenges. And with this study seeks to address the impact of cluster farming on food security and household income. Therefore, the result of this study identifies that participants exhibit higher benefits of cluster farming in terms of the figure you observed here, in terms of yield, net benefit, technical efficiency, food consumption score, and household data score. Therefore, when we come to the result from endogenous switching regression, it also shows the positive result of the initiative. Therefore, promoting cluster farming as a strategic initiatives to address food security is important. For more information, please refer to poster number 36.
And next up, Kopigneri Mari.
Thank you. Good morning. Our presentation is about the impact of engagement in non-farm activities on household farmer food security with an evidence from rural Burkina Faso. In Burkina Faso, as in Africa overall, food insecurity remains a major problem. Agricultural production and income are low and insufficient to ensure food security. Engaging in non-farm activity is a potential solution to combat food insecurity. We use an econometric approach with data on about 2,000 rural households and found that households engaged in non-farm activity have better access to food, a more diversified diet, and a more stabilized consumption. It's then important to support income diversification strategies to improve household food situation. Come to poster 34 for more details. Thank you.
Okay, next up, Precious Olofwe.
Hello, everyone. Staple foods form the backbone of many economic activities in rural communities, which supports improved livelihood and household food and nutrition security. This research focused on 3 staple foods commonly processed in southwestern part of Nigeria. And although they show great potential to foster socioeconomic development in rural economies, their impact is greatly impacted due to challenges of obsolete food methods and technology, among others. While most food security interventions focus majorly on improving food production capacity, what about enhancing staple food processing sectors in rural communities to achieve this objective? To learn more, kindly visit my poster number 35. Thank you very much.
Okay, next up we have Natalie Lambrecht.
Okay. In agriculture, nutrition, and health, we often design complex interventions to target multiple domains to achieve impacts on nutrition and health. And with a well-designed randomized control trial, we can see whether our intervention achieved those target outcomes. What we don't know is how did the intervention actually work. So in this study, we used the rich panel data from the farm trial and multiple mediation analysis to show that women's dietary diversity improved primarily through increased home garden production, specifically increasing the number of crops they grew in their garden and sustainable garden practices. In doing so, we provide direct causal evidence of linking homestead food production program with garden production and improved dietary diversity. If you want to learn more about our methods, results, and how to apply this to your own interventions, please come to poster number 36.
Inelo Okoye, you come here.
What if the solution to global food security could grow in our backyard? My name is Chinelo Okoye, and together with my team, we reviewed 10 studies across Africa and Asia. As for my topic, we found that home gardening improved food and diet quality and strengthened food security when paired with nutrition education and policy support. We also found that households who did not have a home garden benefited from their neighbors who had home gardens by virtue of food sharing. We are therefore recommending policymakers to integrate home gardening into their national food and nutrition strategies with long-term support for education, incentive access, and climate resilient practices. To learn more, please come to my booth at number 38. Thank you.
Great stuff. Number 39, we have Elizabeth Morey.
Hello, everybody. Climate change is affecting every aspect of our lives. Have you ever wondered how farmers, especially in rural African societies, are dealing with these climate change effects? This study examined how women farmers in rural western side of Kenya are navigating climate change challenges. Visit me in poster number 39 to learn more on the effects of climate change, some of the problems that or the constraints that women are going through as they try to navigate these challenges of climate change. You'll also learn some of the strategies that after they have adopted the various strategies, how it contributes to food security and health outcomes. It's not only about food security, but also about attaining.
Number 40, Abdul Ahmed.
Okay, good morning, everybody. I'll be presenting on selenium deficiency. So as you know, micronutrient deficiencies are very common and they are causing a huge burden on disease. And we are focusing on selenium deficiency, which was evidence was so scarce in our case. And the first one aim was on quantifying the burden of selenium deficiency using a framework, using a DALI framework, which is the first one. And the second one is the use of selenium fertilizers to increase the crop selenium content and increasing the human selenium intake for addressing micronutrient deficiency. And our study finds that the use of selenium fertilizer at lower dose using soil application could be a very effective intervention in terms of cost and effectiveness as well. And they can be used in the national fertilizer schemes to address micronutrient deficiency, especially for the wider community in the rural areas. Thank you very much. You can visit me in poster 14. Thank you.
And next up, we have Della Sosi.
Ladies and gentlemen, what remains of our humanity when hunger is turned into a weapon? Across Africa, crops are burned. Aid is blocked. Famine is forbidden, not by accident, but as strategy to punish, control, starve. My research combines case studies and ethical reflection to make this urgent claim. Food ethics in conflict zone must be a moral and political imperative, as Kofi Annan reminds us Hunger is not a matter of charity, it is a matter of justice. It's time to act. Thanks. My number is 41.
Thank you. And I think last for in person, we have Ravinder Kumar.
Hello, hi, good morning. I'm presenting on agri-food value chain, unlocking potentials for can agri-food value chain achieve nutrition outcomes? This is the question we studied through 44 value chains across 26 countries, across diversity of agriculture value chains. And what we found that yes, they can. Agriculture food value chain can achieve nutrition outcomes, provided that they address local markets, they address and promote agroecology and women empowerment. Clearly, what we also found is pain points were identified through agriculture food value chains, and therefore we recommended that agriculture value chain to better support nutrition outcomes, they need to be have intentional design, nutrition objectives, addressing food environment and consumer behavior. Thank you very much for it.
Excellent. I think we now move to the online section. And we may have Himanshi with us. Himanshi Pandey. There you are, when you're ready.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. So the COVID-19 pandemic has disrupted the fruits and vegetable supply chain in India. And this poster presents findings from a qualitative study which was done in order to understand the resilience mechanisms and the diversification strategies that were adopted by the stakeholders during that time. A total of 44 stakeholders were interviewed, including farmers, wholesalers, retailers, and consumers, and the findings revealed major barriers and coping mechanisms. The findings from the study will be useful in designing strategies for emergency preparedness and for improving the governance. This study was part of the Chef's project, which was funded by the Wellcome Trust and was led by CCDC New Delhi in India. And this project was designed and led by Dr. Anjali Ganpule. To learn more about our study, please visit poster number 43. Thank you.
I think
Good morning.
we now... Please, Lisa.
Good morning. Today's youth represent a critical force shaping the future, evolving in step with changing food consumption practices. Therefore, our study regards youth as a pivotal stakeholder, exploring their daily food practices in relation to street food vendors, but not in a physical space we refer to as the consumption junction. From ethnographic observations, interviews, and photojournals, it became clear that youth consumption practices are either nourishment-focused, prioritizing trusted vendors, food safety, and convenience for on-the-go, or socialization-focused, prioritizing online trends and group solidarity. The vast differences between these routines, each embedded in distinct patterns and daily dynamics, call for governance and policies that recognize youth as central actors in shaping on-site interactions, consumption trends, and ultimately wider food system development. Thank you very much.
And I think last but not least, do we have Sadiq with us? Sadiq?
Yes, thank you. Good morning all. My name is Sadiq. I will be presenting a study result on storage management practices and mycotoxin contamination of sorghum in northwest Ethiopia. Due to favorable agroecologies in Ethiopia, mycotoxin contamination in sorghum has been prevalent. In this study, we examined current practices for storing sorghum in relation to mycotoxin contamination. We collected samples of stored sorghum from smallholder farmers and tested them for the presence of 33 different mycotoxins. We also interviewed the farmers about their storage management practice. The results indicated that mycotoxin contamination was more prevalent in samples stored in introduced structures, such as pigs and pip sacks, than in samples stored in indigenous structures, such as sherpa, gota, and peat. Our results are available in Journal of Stored Products Research. Thank you.
And I think that concludes our poster session. Well done, everybody. It's not easy. Well, let's give everybody another round of applause. Well done. And I think all is left for me to do is pass back to Jeff and say thank you. Well done, everybody.